This review is for the Hoover PowerScrub Deluxe Carpet Cleaner.
I just took everything out of the PowerScrub Deluxe Carpet Cleaner out of this box here, and it is very easy to take out of the box, which I really liked. You got the vacuum, the main piece right here, which actually isn't super heavy. I got the owner's manual here. I also did get some pet cleaner. It says right here, it's in Tropical Breeze. I got this scrubber here. We got this tank right here, which is gonna go on top of the actual machine. And then I have this handle here, if you can see it. It does come with these little screws, so don't forget about those. And then I also did get this bag. I thought this bag was pretty neat. It had a little hanger, so you could hang it up on your, in your closet. And then inside, let's see here. We got this little piece here, which will attach to the hose. We got this piece here, which is like a little bit smaller version of this one. Then we got the tube, of course, and this little crevice tool as well. So I'm gonna put everything together and demonstrate it for you. And the first thing they want you to do is to just put this handle right in here, snap it in. And the screws that it came with, it came in that little bag. These are gonna be screwed in right here. The next step is to put this tank on this upper part here. So what I found is that you gotta really push hard to do it. Make sure it's centered on there, push really hard, push down, and let it click into place. For the first step, I removed the upper chamber, which holds water, and I just filled it up to water. Now the fill line's right up here. I'm not going quite up to the top, just to see how it works, but this piece pops in right here. There's little grooves, and just turn it to the right. And now I'm gonna do this one, which is the solution side. So you have water and solution. So I filled this with very hot water. They said do hot water on this. The solution side, I just turn it a little bit to the left, and then I have the solution that it came with, this pet cleaner, and I'm gonna go ahead and put it in there. So I installed the upper chamber again, and now I have the water here, and then the solution here. I only filled it up about halfway just to test it out since it's the first time using it. And then you can put it on rinse or wash. So you're gonna do wash first. After you've done one run with the wash, you're gonna do it on rinse. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn it on. The power button's right here. And then you can also put your foot on this to release the handle to bring it down, to move it back and forth. So I'm gonna make very straight lines on the wash cycle. While I'm doing that, I'm gonna be pushing this down. This is gonna release the solution. And then after I've done a couple, maybe just one or two passes, then I'll let this go and then just do a dry run so it absorbs all the cleaner. One thing you gotta make sure of when you're putting the full chamber back on here, I had it on like this. It wasn't quite straight on there. And there's a little black piece there that I wasn't covering. So you have to make sure that's fully covered like that. Just make sure it's fully in there and engaged before you clip it in. After I've used it a few times, this is kind of what was happening. This chamber was starting to fill up with dirty water. The section I did was just this little section right here. And all I did was I hit the power button, released the handle, and I was pushing this button down as I was going straight up and down, and then I let this go, and then just went over it a few more times as a dry run so that it could absorb the liquid. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch it over to the wash side, or the rinse side, I'm sorry. Then it'll just use water and just clean up the soap a little bit. So we'll see how this works. So now that I've run the rinse cycle, basically just going over this whole area with that rinse on, it worked really, really well. You can see how much water now I filled. It's like maybe a quarter of the tank or so for just this small area. The carpet is super clean. It's a little bit damp. I went over it. I did the dry run several times over these areas, but the carpet is super clean and it's not too strong. The carpet smell is very light. So far, super impressed with this machine. It is very lightweight for me. It's easy to maneuver. And also, just to remind you guys, make sure you vacuum super good before you do it. So I made sure I vacuumed this area, and I'm going to do this entire area, but so far my initial thoughts on this review, it's just, this is a fantastic machine.
So after finishing about a 200 square foot area, I'm super impressed. It did a really good job. The water is about halfway full, but I've used all the water in the reservoir. So it seems to be doing really, really well. So far, I'm super, super happy with it.